what happened with my machine. So I lost all the credentials and I'm trying to log in. I can't log in to create or to open that link, because I'm the one who actually created that link in the morning. But when I tried to log in, then this afternoon, then I was having problems. So please bear with us. Next weekend, I think it will be fine.
Okay, thank you for the update, Doc.
Thank you, Dr. Famba. I think we can resume, isn't it? Yeah, most of the guys they've joined. So I'm going to share the screen once again. Can we see the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Maybe before we continue, Nomo was saying something, then the Zoom link, the Zoom meeting happened. Can you continue, Nomo?
Okay, I was talking about the issue of infrastructure for charging those vehicles. As Zimbabwe, we might face challenges on building those infrastructure.
All right. The issue of supporting infrastructure again, isn't it? It's important that we have the supporting infrastructure. But isn't these vehicles, it can be, it can be electric or it can be powered by the normal fuels, but the major difference here is it is going to be powered by AI. It's going to be driven by artificial intelligence. We are not going to be having a human driver driving this vehicle, but it is going to be fitted with cameras. It's going to be fitted with sensors. Then it is going to be able to make decisions just like the human driver. It knows when to turn left. It has got its path defined, navigation path defined. It knows the braking distance and what have you. It's already loaded within this vehicle, so much that it is self-driving without the intervention of a human driver. I think you guys, you appreciate that we in developed nations, we're actually having these cars driving on their roads. And recently it had an accident. One of the vehicles had actually an accident. But we are simply saying the number of accidents is going to be reduced as compared to the accidents that are. Can we mute ourselves? Let me mute everyone. So I was saying the major difference here is AI, which is the game changer. All right, it is the one driving these vehicles. So let's talk about the history of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not something which was discovered recently. It was actually discovered around 1950 by a guy called Alan Turing, who performed what we call a Turing test. Around 1950, the Turing test is a method of determining the intelligence of a machine. Actually, this Alan guy, he had an interrogator, was someone who was asking questions, and he had a computer in one room and then a human responder in another room. So the interrogator would send questions, and then you'd get responses from the computer and the human responder. And then the idea here was to test if the computer is intelligent enough as the human being. So after performing this test, the interrogator could not pick responses, could not differentiate responses, whether it's coming from the computer or it's coming from the human responder, which actually meant that the computer can have human intelligence, all right? So the Turing test was done in 1950. And then from the 1955, that's when the term AI was coined. The term artificial intelligence was used for the first time in 1955. And then, you know that by then we also have the history of computers, you know, which is separate from the history of artificial intelligence. But the history of computers somehow controlled the history of artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence runs on a computer which has got hardware and software. So the hardware developments somehow informed the development of artificial intelligence. Then in 1966, we had ELIZA, which is one of the first chatbots. Nowadays, we know what a chatbot is, isn't it? The first chatbot was developed in 1966. Can you imagine? What is a chatbot? If I may ask, what is a chatbot? What do you think is a chatbot? Christopher, you wanted to say something?
Sorry, say something happened. Sorry. You can continue.
All right. But Christopher, what do you think is a chatbot?
Honestly speaking, I have no idea what is a chatbot.
All right. You are hearing this word for the first time?
Yeah. Yes, my first time.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Anyone with an idea of what a chatbot is? No more?
Yeah, I think we can take for example, we have two human beings communicating, let's say on Facebook. So when we're now talking about chatbot, we have a computer program that will be talking with a human user, or that will be simulating a conversation.
Thank you very much, Normal. We're simply saying you are interacting with a computer, isn't it? You're chatting with a computer. That's a chatbot. You guys, what can an example of a chatbot? You guys have used the Mukuru before? Mukuru has got a chatbot where you can say hi, you can create orders using a chatbot, and what have you.
Yes.
Yes, that's an example of a chatbot. Or even many organizations in Zimbabwe have got chatbots, isn't it? Many banking
Most
institutions.
banks.
Yes, go ahead, Tafazo.
Most banks have got chatbot. If you can go to ZB has got a chatbot where you can request your statement, you can get everything. Even nowadays, Econet, it introduces a chatbot. You see that there is a Talk to Tembi, that's a chatbot.
Yes, thank you very much. But Tafazwa, why are you not having a chatbot within your business?
It's only because I don't have the expertise on how to do it. That's why I need to acquire this expertise so that I can introduce a chatbot in our organization.
Thank you very much. This is why you enrolled for this course, isn't it? At some point, we're going to have to show you how to create a chatbot. Tangai Muchuen. Tangai Muchuen, go ahead. I'm seeing your hand is up.
Okay, thank you. It's Tangai.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, I have an example I'm thinking of. Let's say when I call someone who's not available, like that voicemail that says is not available at the moment, is it a chatbot?
Good question. What do you think, colleagues?
I think it's a chatbot because it's representing a human. It's you're talking to a computer representing a human language.
All right, all
Okay.
right. No more, go ahead.
The fact that that voice will not allow a conversation, I think for me, I think it's not. I don't know what it is, but I think it's not, because it is not allowing a conversation, talk, reply, talk, reply.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a good intervention, Nomo. What do you think, colleagues? Nomo is saying it doesn't allow for a conversation to flow. It's only unidirectional. You can't respond back. It's only it's only the voice coming to you. Can you respond to the voice? What do you think?
Isn't it the type of conversation whereby it doesn't need any response from the other side?
All right. So you're saying it's not only allowing a conversation because of the type of conversation. Is that so?
Yeah, so because when it says Tanga is not available, I don't think there's any response that is needed. Maybe it's a short dialogue,
All right. All right.
but I want to keep on looking for that person. Maybe I will try again some other time.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the input. Maybe we can say it depending with how you see it, or the perspective you look at it. We can call it a chatbot or we cannot call it a chatbot, depending with the aspect which we raised by Nomo. Is it allowing an interaction? Is it allowing an interaction where you say a user or a customer sends a request and then it responds? Then if it can't allow further interactions, we can call it a limited chatbot. But is it that type of chatbot that you need within your business setup or your business environment?
Hello?
Is it the type of chatbot that you'd want in your business setup, which only allows one-way conversation or one-way direction of flow of information?
I don't think so.
All right, thank you. Normally, we would want a chatbot which allows flexibility, convenience to the what? To your customer community, isn't it? All right.
Yeah.
But thank you for bringing that example up. It actually allowed us to have what? A conversation here. But my point is, if we go to our slide here, we're saying the first chatbot was developed in 1966. So artificial intelligence has taken a boom now, all right, in the 21st century, or in 2022 or 2020. It is topping the charts now, but it's not something new. It has happened in 1950. It has happened in 1966. So what is causing it to have that, that boom now? Why is it that artificial intelligence is taking center stage now? Yet it was developed in 1950. Yet we had the first chatbot in 1966. Why are these banks deploying these chatbots now? The only reason why AI is taking center stage now is because of the developments that has happened to the computer. The computer is developed to an extent that it can store huge amounts of data now. The computer processing power has improved as compared to 1966. In 1966, you would not talk about a hard drive which is 1 gigabyte big. you'd only talk of megabytes, all right? But now we can talk of a 1 terabyte hard drive size. So because of this development, and there was a prediction which was done by Moore that the computing power is going to double each and every year. And because of the doubling of the computing power, artificial intelligence is taking center stage now. All right. So from 1970 to 1908, with the AI winter, after the boom of early research, there was a pause. From 1970, there was a pause on artificial intelligence. Why this pause is because the computing power was limited. The demands of artificial intelligence were too high compared to the hardware that we had during that time. So because of hardware developments now, the hardware that we're developing now is capable of running these artificial intelligence systems. The hardware we're having now is capable of storing huge amounts of data. The hardware that we're having now, the processors that we're having now, the Core i7s that we are having now are able to run these artificial intelligence softwares. So because of that, artificial intelligence is driving almost every aspect of our lives. But we know that in 1997, we had the world champion, Kasparov, the world chess champion, was beaten by what? A Deep Blue computer system. It won a chess match against the world champion. That was in 1997. This is when now the deep sleep in AI was revitalized around 1997. Then in 2011, we talk of the Siri, the intelligent speech assistant, which is integrated into the iPhone. Those who use iPhone, we know that you have an intelligent speech assistant embedded within your phone. That was in 2011. And then again in 2011, Watson, we have Watson, which it won against human rivals in the quiz show. Watson is an IBM again, IBM system or AI system developed by IBM. And then in 2014, with Alexa, which is a virtual assistant. Alexa from Amazon moves into Coty's homes and on. Then in 2016, with Tay, another chatbot, had to be reissued after a short time because of racist and sexist remarks. So it had challenges with some racism and all. You know, that we're going to talk about the limitation of AI later on. That's where we talk about these limitations later on. Then 2017, with the AlphaGo, the Google's AlphaGo beats the world champion in the game Go. And then in 2018 to now, we now have the ethic guidelines, where we have the European Union establishing some guidelines for the ethics of AI. I think we're going to cover that later on within this course. I think that's unit number 6, where we talk of the ethical side of what? Of artificial intelligence. Now, if we look at AI today, where we talk of the ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? What do you think? What is ChatGPT? You are hearing it for the first time. Abigail, what do you think is ChatGPT? Voices. Let us hear from the melodious voices. Abigail, well, we need to balance gender, isn't it? Abigail, you are muted. Can you hear me? Anyone with an idea of what a chat GPT is?
I think it's an artificial intelligence system designed to process natural language and text, and also analyze situation to give responses which are human-like. So basically, it's an artificial intelligence.
Thank you very much. You see, ChatGPT is another AI. It's actually the one which is dominating now, which it uses natural language processing. And then we're going to look at natural language processing later on, which is just a branch of artificial intelligence. It is able to answer anything, virtually anything. You can ask ChatGPT anything, and it can respond. Any question, it can respond. All right, but it's in what? It's an AI system developed by OpenAI and so forth. All right, so we're now in an era where artificial intelligence is actually able to process natural languages, where artificial intelligence is able to interpret. All right, it is able to have a conversation with a human being, so much that you can't see that you are talking to a computer. That's AI for you. So let us look at the timeline diagram of artificial intelligence history. 1950, like we said, where Alan Turing introduced the Turing test, where the big question there was, can machines think? All right, and after performing the test, Alan Turing could conclude that machines can think, computers can think. Then during the AI winter, with that abrupt halt of AI development around 1970, mainly because of the computing power, the machines then could not process AI systems. Then with the technological development and renaissance of AI spring around 2010, and then 2018, where we now talk of the big data analytics to help support healthy policy making, decision making, even in your finances, even in HR, in marketing, where you're now bringing the big data analytics, and then you are able to make your decisions from your computer. But why should business use AI? So business processes in the 21st century is characterized by a high level of complexity involving tasks that are stressful and inefficient to be carried out by humans. All right, we're having complex tasks that needs to be completed, so much that you can't do that using a human being. And then business in today's world is dominated by the era of data. I've talked about it, the era of generating data, and companies can obtain valuable insights or strategies that can radically drive growth from data. Hence, the need for business to uniquely understand the needs and preferences of customers is invaluable in today's business world to thrive and maintain relevance in the 21st century. So in the 21st century, it's actually going to be difficult to have a business which survives without the adoption of artificial intelligence. If you are to be competitive, you'll have to adopt artificial intelligence in the way you do your business, if you are to remain relevant. It also goes that you ought to have the skills, AI skills, for you to be able to develop these these businesses that are able to run based on artificial intelligence. So let's look at the examples of artificial intelligence in business. I have a few examples of artificial intelligence in business. Number one, I have AI in customer service, where we are replacing humans with AI in customer service. Is a very controversial example of artificial intelligence in business, with the advent of chatbots, we've talked about chatbots, customers can now interact with companies in real time to resolve complaints, to place orders, to get information, and to do almost anything that would require from having a conversation with a human customer care representative. So instead of having a human customer care representative, you are now employing a computer to do that on your behalf, a chatbot to do that on your behalf. But for you to be able to develop a chatbot, there's need for understanding of some programming or some coding, a little bit of coding, or a little bit of computer programming, a little bit of understanding Python, which is one of the programming language that we're going to be using in this course here. So we're going to be using Python to develop a chatbot or these AI systems so that they can interact or they can perform some business transactions on our behalf. So according to Gartner, 85% of customer interactions will be managed without a human. This was by 2020. This disruptive innovation of artificial intelligence in business will alleviate the need for humans in customer interaction, reducing business cost and exponentially improving customer care, accessibility, and conversational experience. If I may pose a question here in terms of customer care, customer service, I think we all appreciate that the customer is the most important component of a business. The customer is the most important component of a business. And now having a computer doing customer care on behalf of your business, having a chatbot. I would want to ask you guys, what are the limitations of interacting with a chatbot as compared to interacting with a human customer care, individual? Or maybe I would start with what are the advantages of using a chatbot? Tangai.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I have a limitation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you once talked about it, like when limited data is imposed on a machine, so it won't be able to answer the customers. Maybe when those guys who imparted the data on the machine, maybe they didn't think along those lines. So as you said maybe before, data is supposed to be researched wholly so that maybe almost 100% of the information or 100% of the answers will be imposed on the machine so that the customers won't get disappointed.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. The issue of data is very critical. If ever Africa, if ever Zimbabwe is going to have milestones in terms of AI, there is need for us to provide data, business data. But when we look at business data, this is something which is competitive, isn't it? This is information which is what, confidential? Is that so? It's something that is confidential. I cannot just give my data to anyone, my business data to anyone, isn't it? How best can we go about it? The issue of data, very, very important, Tangai. How best can we go about it in Africa, in Zimbabwe, to make sure that data is availed for AI systems or development? I think you also appreciate that we recently had the Cyber Bureau and Data Protection Act, which was signed into law. You see, there are laws which govern how we manage this data and what have you. But if you go to developed nations, you realize that they will have, you'll have companies submitting data for research purposes, submitting data for research purposes in terms of AI systems development. Because if you create a model which has not been trained enough in terms of data, it is going to be limited in terms of its what performances. But what do you think needs to be done within businesses, within government? What needs to be done for us to have AI systems which are not limited, or which are not being suffocated in terms of supply of data? Tanga.
Okay, I think there is need for more research. Let's say maybe business seminars whereby managing directors or company leaders will share their problems they are facing, or will share whatever ideas they are using for the upliftment of their businesses. I think maybe through business seminars, they'll be able to gather that kind of information. And also maybe creating an application whereby anyone who needs specific information and that data will be imparted in that application, whereby, for example, in research we were taught about Scopus. When you need genuine data, you need to go to Scopus, then you search, you get genuine data. So maybe that criteria may be used. I don't know, it's my thing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for that opinion. You talk of Scopus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why can't we also have our own, you know, our own Zimbabwean, maybe Zimbabwean Scopus, where we are saying this is data for insurance companies? Who insurance companies are actually submitting their data for research purpose, for research and development. Because the moment we don't have this data, I'm sorry to say that we need to forget about having effective data analytics. Because for the systems in data analytics to work, they need what? A huge amount of what? Of data which resemble our environment. Right? Meslin, you've got something to say? Go ahead. Meslin Kudzika, go ahead. Your hand is up.
Pama, it is efficient in customer service or both.
Meslin, can you hear me? Go ahead.
Like I said, I want to add a limitation. I said it is faster and efficient as compared to human in customer service, as it doesn't get tired or bored.
All right, all right. Thank you for that intervention. She's saying a chatbot doesn't get tired to respond to any customer request. Remember, these business that we are creating them for the global market. So there could be a huge amount of demand from customers. We need what? Customer service care. And if you're having a human customer service personnel, obviously at some point, it's going to tire, isn't it? But if you now employ a chatbot, you should be able to respond to all the requests as they come in. Thank you very much for that intervention. Thank you very much. So we're talking about maybe I think since I'm talking to business people, I think let me make a plea here that let us have a business policy that allows submission of our data, business data, for research and development in terms of artificial intelligence. Yes, our data is confidential, is classified, but at some point we should declassify it so much that it is submitted maybe to institutions that do research, so that we can use it for what? For development of what? Machine learning and artificial intelligence-based systems that are going to solve our problems. As long as we have this situation here, that gap that we have in terms of data, we're going to remain behind in terms of adoption of these technologies. as a nation or as Africa, we're going to remain behind because we are not submitting data for research purposes. And then we end up being consumers of these technologies. And we're not going to develop our own AI-based systems for improvement of our businesses. So businesses should make a deliberate move, a deliberate decision to submit data for research and development. All right. We are left with 1 minute, 20 seconds. So I think in a 1 minute time, we're going to be put it out and then we rejoin later on. All right. So we just talked about one example where we can apply AI. The other example where we can apply artificial intelligence is in business intelligence. Okay, business intelligence. So with the increasing amount of available business data, insights from the data can be quite challenging. This has driven the routine adoption of artificial intelligence in business intelligence to obtain valuable insights from data. I think we've talked about the importance of data, isn't it? These insights help companies improve the effectiveness of marketing, understanding customers better, perform segmentation to create personalized experiences, and perform business strategies to aid corporate decision-making, and leverage on artificial intelligence in business management. So we can actually use AI for business intelligence, all right? So much that we are